Under the topic, the notion of commerce, we are through with the types of production, the stages of production, the chain of production, and the branches of production. So today we'll be looking at the relationship between industry, commerce, and direct service. Before I explain the relationship that is existing between industry, commerce, and direct service, I would first of all like to explain the relationship that is existing between the producer and the consumer. The producer and the consumer are important on their own, but for each to be successful, they will need to depend on each other. Producers will rely on consumers to pay for products they manufacture in order to make their income, to buy raw materials, and to make a profit. So the producers will rely on the income from the consumers so that they can make profit, and they can use part of the income to buy raw materials so that they can continue to produce the goods that the consumers need. On the other hand, the consumers will rely on producers to supply them with the products they have produced. So the producers will supply products to the consumers. So you will see that why the producers rely on the income of consumers to make profit and to buy raw materials to continue production. The consumers will also rely on the producers to supply them with the products that they need. So you will see that there is a mutual relationship that is existing between the consumer and the producer. While the producer relies on the consumer for income, the consumer also relies on the producer for the products they are producing. This type of relationship is what we call interdependence, because the consumer depends on the producer and the producer also depends on the consumer. Now, having this at the back of our mind, let us see the relationship that is existing between industry, commerce, and direct service. Industry, commerce, and direct service are very important on their own, but for each to be successful, they need to depend on each other. Industries are concerned with producing goods from raw materials. Commercial activities are concerned with the distribution of these finished goods from the factory to the final consumer. Unless there are commercial activities, finished goods will not be sold because there will not be any advertising, no finances to build factories, no storage facility, no transport to the retailer or the wholesaler, and there will not be any communication between the buyer and the seller. So the producers will depend on commercial activities in order for them to sell the goods that they have produced. For example, raw materials will need to be transported from where they are extracted to the production site. This can only be done by an aid to trade, which is known as a transport. Also, when the goods are produced, they will need to be stored before they are demanded. They will also need to advertise the goods, and they will need to communicate those who are interested in buying the goods. All these activities are commercial activities, and unless there are goods, commercial activities will not take place, because there won't be any goods to advertise, neither will there be any good to be stored. So you see that commercial activities will depend on the producers, and the producers will also depend on commercial activities in order for them to sell their goods. Both industries and commercial activities depend on direct services to run successfully. For example, they need the services of the lawyer to handle legal matters of the business. They will also need the services of doctors and nurses to attend to an accident at the workplace. They will also need the services of an accountant to prepare accounting documents for the business. They will also need the services of a security guard to protect their properties against theft. At the end, you realize that industries, commercial activities, and direct services are dependent on each. This is a relationship that is existing between these branches of production.